this, it'll be good to have your view. So Dr. Nagesh Kumar, you come in at a very interesting time. You'll have the last word, at least in this round. And for all practical purposes, we still consider he's part of RAS. He might have moved on, but we think he's RAS. So Dr. Nagesh Kumar, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ambassador. First of all, let me thank the organizers, SKOCH Foundation and RIS, for giving me this opportunity. You are very right, Ambassador Mohan Kumar, that I also consider myself as still as a part of extended RIS family. And every time I come back, I feel like a homecoming, kind of. So that, sentiment is shared and mutual. I wanted to touch upon the important issue that you made in your introductory remarks about RCEP, whether India joined or did not join, or joining or not joining. That is a relevant question. I think it is, because the door is still open, and so we should certainly continue to debate before the door is closed. And the debate that was going on in run-up to that 3rd or 4th November meeting in Bangkok, I was following it very closely, having been involved in the early days of EAS, the East Asia Summit formation, and SEPIA and all that from my time at RIS. I was following that debate very closely, and what I found was absolutely missing from that debate was the discussion focusing only on the comparative static framework, and no discussion on the dynamic gains that might be brought about from a regional trading arrangement or regional trade bloc of this stature that RCEP is going to be. As we know, the regional trade agreements, different from FTAs, bilateral FTAs, they unleash a process of industrial restructuring between all their members, industrial restructuring that is focused on exploiting the economies of scale and scope, and in the end become more competitive and efficient. So that industrial restructuring happens in such a manner. If you look at the stories or lessons from European Union formation and NAFTA and ASEAN in back home, is that this industrial restructuring gives a fair chance to everyone, depending upon their comparative advantage. And so it leads to a process of industrial restructuring that overall the entire industrial sector or services sector become more competitive globally, and this is done in a manner that gives a chance to everyone to contribute to it. So by staying out of RCEP, India, I think, is losing a very important opportunity to participate in this process of efficiency-seeking industrial restructuring that RCEP will lead to. And so I think while the door is still open, we should reconsider this decision to stay out. Some people say that let us first become competitive and then rethink of joining. I think that question is absolutely nonsense, because right now we could be part of it as founder members. Later on, of course, RCEP has this open accession clause built into it. So theoretically, you could come back later to the negotiating table or to join the group. But the conditions of joining or accession would be too onerous for any country to comply with. So that question is absolutely non-issue. And I think while the door is open, India should consider, because RCEP has the potential, not only the potential, it is going to be one pillar of the triad of the world economy. The other pillars are NAFTA and EU, and so it is going to be a grouping of the same stature as NAFTA and EU, and will drive a lot of, and much more than that, NAFTA and EU have economies which are stagnating. They have reached their full potential and they are now not growing. And you see world trade growth, which used to be of the order of 15% per year on average, now is barely 1%. So this is the grouping of most dynamic economies, and they will be the core of the Asian century if Asia ever becomes an Asia century. So I think this is an opportunity we should not lose sight of. I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.